Okay, students, good morning. Now, as you know, this is a very big story, so it was taking really time to complete it. So here we are again with the same story, horse and the two goats, page number 57, last para. Okay, here again to remind you, there are two characters, Muni and the American. Yesterday we saw that how they started their conversation. Okay, and the conversation started where the American was only talking about the statue of the horse, which really impressed him. Okay, the statue of the horse, the white horse, impressed him, and Muni understood that he is talking about his goats. Okay, first Muni thought that he is like this American is a policeman. He has come to catch him. He is to catch Muni. And second thought came to him that he is talking about his goats. He want to purchase them. He want to purchase the goats, and Muni was also, at the end you will see, he was happy. He thought that goats are of no use now of me. Let him purchase and let me get the money for it. Okay, so that was the misunderstanding of the conversation between the American and Muni. Because Muni couldn't understand the language of the American, that is English, and American was unable to understand the language of Muni, that was Tamil. Okay, and that misunderstanding you will see in the story ahead. So page 57, the last extract, we have to start. The foreigner faithfully looked in the direction indicated by Muni's fingers, gazed for a while at the two goats and the rocks, and with a puzzled expression took out his silver cigarette case and lit a cigarette. Suddenly remembering the courtesies of the season, he asked, "Do you smoke?" Now when Muni showed his goats, so for a look, American just gave a look to the goats and the rock, and then he did not bother about it because his mind was only at the statue. Then he took out the cigarette, and as a courtesy, when you take out your food, what if someone is sitting near you, what you will do? You will start eating. You will ask, "Mona, do you want?" It's a courtesy. So he took out the cigarette and then he asked Muni, "Do you smoke?" Muni answered yes, no. He only knew two words, yes and no. So he said yes, then he said no. Whereupon the red-faced man took a cigarette, gave it to Muni, who received it with surprise, having had no offer of a smoke from anyone for years now. Muni was really shocked. American means a great person is offering me cigarette, and for years he did not smoke. No one even offered him, and he also had no money to purchase an expensive cigarette. And this man, this foreigner, offered him. He was very surprised. He had always wanted to smoke a cigarette. Only once did the shopman give him one on credit, and he remembered how good it had tasted. He always wanted to have cigarette, but never he got. Once that shopkeeper, that same, he gave one cigarette, and that is on credit that you have to pay. Okay, on some credit he gave, and that he said, "Oh, it tasted so good." The other flicked the lighter open, means the other means this American, he flicked the lighter. Flick means very fast he opened the lighter and offered a light to Muni. That was another surprise for Muni. A poor man having cigarette, and the American is with the lighter is giving the light to Muni. So Muni was really shocked. Muni felt so confused about how to act that he blew on it and put it off. What he did? He was not knowing what he had never seen lighter. He might have seen only matchstick. So when he put on the lighter, Muni blew it off. He just blew it off. He's thinking, why he put on the lighter in front of my face? So he blew it off. Muni drew a deep puff and started coughing. It was racking, no doubt, but extremely pleasant. After a year he was smoking, so he had got some problem in the throat. He started coughing, but still he was happy. When his cough subsided, he wiped his eyes and took stock of the situation, understanding that the other man was not an inquisitor of any kind. He understood that he is not a policeman, or he has not come for any inquiry. Nothing like that. Yet in order to make sure, he remained wary. Wary means showing or feeling little caution, alertness. He understood that he is not a policeman with his behavior, but still he was a bit alert. Again, to know that what he is thinking, that is right or wrong. So he was little cautious. No need to run away from a man who gave him such a potent smoke. He said, why I am running from this man? He gave me a smoke. His head was reeling from the effect of one of those strong American cigarettes made with roasted tobacco. He was feeling giddy. Like it was a strong cigarette, and after a long time, so he was feeling little giddy. The man said, I come from New York, took out a wallet from his hip pocket and presented his card. Then he took a card from his pocket and said, I have come from New York, and gave the card to Muni. Muni shrank away from the card. Perhaps he was trying to present a warrant and arrest him. Muni got shocked. He said, oh, he has brought a warrant. He is going to arrest me. Now again he was shocked. Beware of khaki. One part of his mind warned. He said that he is in khaki clothes. Definitely someone, and he is presenting me a warrant. Actually it was a card. Muni misunderstood as a warrant. Take all the cigarettes or whatever is offered, but don't get caught. Beware of khaki. He said, take the cigarettes, but don't catch me. I have not done anything. He wished he weren't 70, as the shopman had said. At 71 didn't run, but surrendered to whatever came. Now he was wishing I should not be. He was not actually knowing his age. The shopkeeper said, you look like 70. And he was wishing I should not be 70, because a 70 or 71-year-old person cannot run. I should surrender myself. Now where to go? He is giving a warrant to me. He could only ward off trouble by talk. So he went on all in the chaste Tamil for which Kritam was famous. Now what happened? He started talking about his village, Kritam. He started telling about it. He said, before God, sir, Bhagwan, who sees everything, I tell you, sir, that we know nothing of the case. Now he started explaining himself to that man that, see, sir, God knows I have done nothing. I have not done anything. If the murder was committed, whoever did it will not escape. If the murder has taken place, whoever have done that, he will not be escaped, but I have not done anything. Bhagwan is all seeing. Don't ask me about it, I know nothing. A body had been found mutilated and thrown under a tamarind tree at the border between Kritam and Kuppam a few weeks before, giving rise to much gossip and speculation. There was a gossip there that one person killed one person, there was a murder, and that body was between these two villages, Kritam and Kuppam. So he also came to know about this. So he thought this policeman has come to inquire about that case. And I used to sit here every day. So he may be thinking I am the murderer. So he said with the swear of God that, see sir, I have not done anything. Murder took place here, but I am not the culprit. Muni added an explanation. Anything is possible there. People over there will stop at nothing. The foreigner nodded his head and listened courteously, though he understood nothing. The foreigner was reacting that he is understanding, nodding his head and said, oh yes. But actually, he was not understanding anything. I am sure you know when this horse was made, said the red man and smiled ingratiatingly. Ingratiatingly means in favor, in gaining favor. His mind was only at the statue. Then he asked Muni, do you know that when this horse was made, what is the story behind this? Muni reacted to the relaxed atmosphere by smiling himself and pleaded, please go away sir, I know nothing. He saw the foreigner is smiling, so he thought he had not come to catch me, and he said, sir, I don't know anything, you go away. I promise we will hold him for you if we see any bad character around. Now Muni is thinking he is talking about the culprit, and American is actually talking about the statue. So Muni said, sir, when we will see him, I will tell you. You can go. And we will bury him up to his neck in a coconut pit if he tries to escape. But our village has always had a clean record. Must definitely be the other village. He said, sir, if we see that person who has done the murder, we will catch him, we will hang him to this coconut pit. But our village, Kritam, is a very clean village. No bad record is there. So our our people of Kritam have not done anything. Now the red man implored, please, please, I will speak slowly, please try to understand me. The American understood is not understanding. He said, see, I will speak slowly, please listen. Can't you understand even a simple word of English? He said, not even a simple word you can understand. Everyone in this country seems to know English. I have gotten along with English everywhere in this country, but you don't speak it. Have you any religious or spiritual scruples against English speech? Scruples means feeling of doubt. He said, I have seen, like, that is true. Everywhere people speak, at least something they know about English. So he has come from a long way. He said, I know all the people used to speak English and only you are the one, you are not knowing English. Do you have any doubt or any religious belief? Some people have, no, that if you are a very like orthodox kind of person, you are very strong to your religion. That I am only, means I am from this place and I will only speak Hindi or I only speak Tamil, I will not speak any other language. Some people are like that kind. So the foreigner asked, do you, are you like that? You don't, means you have doubt to speak English? Or you are committed not to speak English? Muni made some indistinct sound in his throat and shook his head. Nothing he understood. So he made some sound in his throat and shook his head. Encouraged, the other went on to explain at length, uttering each syllable with care and deliberation. Deliberation means with full, like proper, clean way. He started explaining. He thought Muni understood. So very clearly he was telling. Presently, he sidled over and took a seat beside the old man, explaining, you see, last August we probably had the hottest summer in history and I was working in shirt sleeves in my office on the 4th floor of the Empire State Building. We had a power failure one day, you know, and there I was stuck for 4 hours, no elevator, no air conditioning. The foreigner started explaining his story to him. Let's see, I was working there. One day the power was cut. No air condition, no elevator. Nothing was there. All the way in the train I kept thinking, and the minute I reached home, in the Connecticut, I told my wife Ruth. Now he was telling about his wife. He said, I told my wife Ruth, we will visit India in winter. It's time to look at other civilization. Next day she called the travel agent first thing and told him to fix it. And so here I am. He said, I told my Ruth that we should visit India. And the next day she called the travel agent, and that is why I am here. Ruth came with me but is staying back at Srinagar, and I am the one doing the rounds and joining her later. Then my wife also came with me, but she is not here with me. She is staying at Srinagar. Muni looked reflective at the end of this long oration and said rather feebly, yes, no. Nothing he understood. Big description the foreigner gave. He just looked at the foreigner and said, yes, no. As a concession to the other's language and went on in Tamil, when I was this high, he indicated a foot high, I had heard my uncle say. No one can tell what he was planning to say, as the other interrupted him at this stage to ask, boy, what is the secret of your teeth? How old are you? Now Muni started explaining about himself. Once I was here and one uncle said to me, and then the other boy interrupted him. Muni forgot what he had started to say and remarked, sometime we too lose our cattle. Muni started something, but he was not knowing what he is saying. And then he moved to his cattle. He said, I lose our cattle. Jackals or cheetahs may sometime carry them off. But sometime it is just theft from over in the next village. Then we will know who has done it. Now his mind was only on that murder. And he is indirectly telling about that see, I am not knowing anything properly. And sometime we lose our cattle. We think the jackals or cheetahs have taken them, and sometimes the theft take place, and it's not our people, it is from the other village. Our priest at the temple can see in the camphor flame the face of the thief, and when he is caught, he gestured with his hands a perfect mincing of meat. He said, our priest, when he lit the camphor, he see the face of the thief. And when the thief is caught, we gesture it. Means he gestured with his hands are perfect. Means he pay for it. Whatever the thief has done, he had to pay for it. The American watched his hands intently and said, I know what you mean. Chop something? He said, I understood. You want to chop something? Maybe I am holding you up and you want to chop wood. He said, oh, you want to cut this wood. Maybe I am holding your hand, you are unable to do it. Where is your axe? Now he understood something. He said, where is your axe? How you are going to cut this wood? Hand it to me and show me what to chop. I do enjoy it, you know, just a hobby. American said, I also enjoy to chop. Show me how you do it. It's my hobby. We get a lot of driftwood along the backwater near my house, and on Sundays I do nothing but chop wood for the fireplace. I really feel different when I watch the fire in the fireplace, although it may take all section of the Sunday New York Times to get a fire started. And he smiled at this reference. Both were not understanding each other. Muni was telling his story. American was telling his story. He told how he used to cut the wood there, how he used to enjoy. Muni was telling about his lifestyle, and both were nodding head towards each other, understanding nothing. Muni felt totally confused but decided the best thing would be to make an attempt to get away from this place. He tried to edge out saying, must go home, and turned to go. Now Muni was totally confused. He wanted to save himself. He said, I am going home. The other seized his shoulder and said desperately, is there no one, absolutely no one here to translate for me? He just held Muni and said, is there anyone here to translate? Means I want you to understand me. And is there anyone who can translate our language? He looked up and down the road, which was deserted in this hot afternoon. Deserted means like it was like no one was there. Lonely. The stranger almost pioneered Muni's pioneers mean he held Muni's back to the statue and asked, isn't this statue yours? Why don't you sell it to me? Why the American thought that the statue is of Muni? Yes, Muni used to sit there, and he felt like Muni used to sit the way like that place is his. So he said, is this statue of yours? You can give it to me. The old man now understood the reference to the horse, thought for a second and said in his own language, I was an urchin this high when I heard my grandfather explain this horse and warrior, and my grandfather himself was this high when he heard his grandfather, whose grandfather. Now again started telling story. He now what did Muni understand? Ki this American wants to know about this horse and warrior. He didn't understand this American want to purchase it, want to buy it, but he thought it's a different kind of beautiful statue of horse and warrior. He wants to know, to gain his knowledge. So he said, when I was a small child, my father used to explain about this. To him, his father used to explain. To him, his father started telling the whole story. The other man interrupted him, I don't want to seem to have stopped here for nothing. I will offer you a good price for this. He said, indicating the horse. Again he said, I don't want to waste my time here. I will give you money for this horse. He had concluded without the least doubt that Muni owned this mud horse. Perhaps he guessed by the way he sat on its pedestal, like other souvenirs. Souvenir means the things kept as a reminder of a person. Like the way Muni was sitting, he thought that he has only made this statue. It is his own, and as a reminder of it, he is always sitting here. Sellers in this country presiding over their wares. So he only wanted to buy that statue, and he thought that the statue is of Muni. Muni followed the man's eyes and pointing fingers and dimly understood the subject matter, and feeling relieved that the theme of the mutilated body had been abandoned, at least for the time being, said again enthusiastically. Now he thought, now this man is not talking about that dead body. He is talking about this horse. And he is changing the topic. So Muni was quite relaxed. I was this high when my grandfather told me about this horse and the warrior, and my grandfather was this high when he again started telling about his father and grandfather. I was this age when I came to know. The Tamil that Muni spoke was stimulating even as pure sound, and the foreigner listened with fascination. Now foreigners, they love everything. They want to create new knowledge, they want to create new things, they want to gain knowledge. So when Muni was speaking Tamil, as you know, South Indian language are very interesting, because the twist of tongue, what is there, that if you see the person speaking, you will feel very happy if you are a very interesting person then. Because the twist of tongue is there in Tamil, in Malayalam, in all kind of language. So the foreigner was fascinated seeing the way Muni was speaking the Tamil so fast. I wish I had my tape recorder here, he said, assuming the pleasantest expression. Your language sounds wonderful, he said. If I had a tape recorder, I would have recorded your voice. Your language is so wonderful. I get a kick out of every word you utter. He said, I feel so good. I get a kick. Whatever word you say, I feel so good. He indicated his ears, but you don't have to waste your breath in sales talk. I appreciate the article. You don't have to explain its point. He said, don't tell. Now, American understood that he is telling about the statue. Now, he said, no need to tell about the statue. I understood. Now, let us come to the main point. Main point is what? To sell this. Just tell me the amount, and I want to buy this statue. And that was the thing the American understood from Muni. And Muni was very happy that he is not talking about the dead body. Now his topic is to the horse and the warrior. This much clear? Till page 61. Okay, mark it there. Huh?